Always remember, your focus determines your reality. Stay close to me, and you'll be safe.
How you guys all doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing pretty dang well. Today we're going to go and chat about one topic that I wanted to talk about in my previous video, but I wanted to spend a whole video kind of talking about this important subject, and it will be critical avoidance in today's video. But before we go into that, as we can see now in the game, we have the what have you done? I'm backwards. The newsletter, the little post, it's pretty much just confirming that we now have, I think they're actually in the game right now, you can see them out, and there they are. 3PO and Chewie, they're in the game now. The marquee's on the 16th, which will be the day of when I publish this video, so we can go and lock these guys. What's the best way to call them? Is it just Chewpio, 3PO Baka, 3 Baka? I don't even know. But this is a great character, like we saw in the last video I went over, and how good it is, and what really makes him good is his uniques, and I mean pretty much everything about him. He's just so good. Is it even? You should be here. Yep, there it is. So I guess in 18 hours from now. But the other thing I want to go into, the main aspect of this video I want to go over, is talking about critical avoidance, and why I feel like the critical avoidance mods in particular should be something that you guys should be actively farming. I wouldn't say go out of the way to farm them, like, you know, oh, I gotta look for these arrows, gotta look for those arrows. No. Just like actively be looking for them, you know, in your farms. You know, something just every day, you know, if you get one, try to go for it if you can, because they're very valuable at the moment. I'm gonna go over some of my lists of who is great with them, and just like other aspects you can use them with, and like the best game modes and stuff. Like, for example, you would want, as at the moment right now, the best, if you guys did not know this, the best way to complete the Kiadi Mooney mission is with all of them having critical avoidance arrows. And having that available for you just mitigates all of the critical hits to you from Reek, pretty much. He does get some stacking critical chance as the battle goes on and progresses, but like the start of the battle, you get so many more extra turns in. It makes it so easy. There's guilds out there who are so close to getting 50 out of 50 successful attempts done in that mission. And just think about that for a second, because that's kind of crazy. 50 out of 50 almost, and you know, we can be seeing 7-star cams in like a few, probably not a few months, but like 4, 5, 6 more months from now, you're going to be seeing them in arenas, in everything, TWs, JCs, and that's pretty awesome. So one major aspect of critical avoidance is for that mission, if you want to make that mission so much more easy for yourself. Another great thing with this is I want to go over the raid team for a little bit. I talked about it recently, and I want to bring it up again. I want to go probably do a top 5 Zetas that are really hot at the moment. Really hot Zetas I want to go over in a video. And this one will be one of them, which would be Holdo's. So Holdo has on her Zeta Quiet Confidence, where she gives out 20% more critical avoidance for for all resistance allies, rather, when she does not have a taunt up. And that's pretty huge, actually, because she's not always going to have a taunt up. She has to lose, or somebody has to lose foresight for her to get that taunt, and that's not going to happen all the time. So when she's not taunting, guess what? She's going to be giving out all of that CA, and that's pretty significant amount of critical avoidance. 20% is pretty awesome. One thing, of course, just before we go into any more, I guess, here is that, of course, Advantage will stop this, and also with like relics. You know, some characters have crazy amounts of critical chance, but that still, this whole thing really does still put a huge damper. It really mitigates the amount of crits that you'll be taking, and that's pretty huge. And I think the whole idea here is, yeah, there's great uses for them at the moment, but I'm really wanting to put this out there for everybody to see and to know, is because I really think there's going to be a huge thing with critical avoidance down the line, and I want to kind of prep you guys. I'm prepping it myself for these arrows and trying to get them ready to go. One more thing also is the big one I kind of want to go over. I went and talked about it a little bit recently in the last video with the Chewie and 3PO kit, but also he does give out 15% critical avoidance to all of the rebels. Just kind of like the Holdo Zeta, but this one isn't even a Zeta. That's how good this one is. And just think about this. I kind of talked about it in my last video about the critical avoidance with this unique, but now just thinking about another critical avoidance arrow on a taunter, like an old Ben or a Stormtrooper Han, somebody like that of the sorts. and just have them taunt and, you know, have fun trying to crit them, have fun trying to do much damage to them, because on top of that, not only will they have that critical avoidance, what would that be, 15 plus the 35, so it's like, is that like 50%? 50% critical avoidance is crazy. And on top of that, with this other, you know, the whole part to this unique, he's going to be giving out all these other stats to all of the rebels. And that's pretty crazy. That's really crazy, actually, because now you're talking about tanks, Relic 7 Old Ben, Relic 7 Stormtrooper Han, being so beefy and so hard to kill with that critical avoidance that would just be a monstrous, monstrous thing. And I am very, 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 very highly thinking about whaling for this character because of that fact right there. This will be, in my opinion at least, it'll be a really disgusting defensive team in GAC, and I'm sure it'll do something offensively as well versus like some GLs. And I really want to go for this character because just that alone, the unique is so powerful. And of course, the critical avoidance arrow is super awesome as well. Of course, you have advantage in the game from like the First Order, and everybody else who does have advantage kind of stops that, which is now the reason I still would say Kylo is, again, the best team and best character in the game, because he can crit without having any issues, unless they have critical avoidance, or I mean, critical hit immunity rather. You can still crit through critical hit immunity, or critical avoidance if you have the advantage, of course, right? So critical avoidance is huge. Other characters who really like it a lot, one for example is Daka. Daka is a great one to have it on. I don't think I have her on. Yeah, I don't have one on her at the moment, but that's a great one to have her on. Really, really helps with the Night Sisters, making sure that she can survive a little bit longer and get some more revives out, which is super, super awesome and clutch. Another one I would say is B2. With relics on B2, he can be even harder to kill, and usually you want to kill him first, right, in those counters with your Jedi. And I don't think he has, yeah, he does not get any critical avoidance with the mastery, but just having that there, 35% is pretty huge. On top of that, you get even more critical avoidance from B1, and that's pretty awesome. That's really awesome, actually. So that's a pretty hard one to kill with relics. And I mean, the whole idea with critical avoidance in general is just to place them either on defense or use them, I guess, on offense, just making the character really, really hard and more difficult to kill. That's like the main huge thing there. I mean, of course, you have Mission and Zalbar who get the critical avoidance as well. The whole Karth team, I think, gives it with the leadership. So many great people here who have them. One, for example, I've been using here recently is Thrawn. I got him with relics to counter Rays. I did a video a couple days ago about this, and he actually does have critical avoidance built in with his mastery, and that's pretty huge. I think he can get, I think at Relic 7 you can get him pretty high, but on top of that you get the critical avoidance from his arrow, right? So he's at 40% pretty much, and that's pretty huge. It's really hard for the Finn and the Poe in that counter to land crits versus him. I know that they can inflict vulnerable, but that's like on a basic. Not all the time will they actually have that chance to do a basic. So you're pretty much just talking about their flat crit chance, and their crit chance is not that high unless they have really, really high crit chance mods. And that's not the most standard thing you'll see. You know, not many people are going to be running that, I guess you can say, right? So it's a great thing here for Thrawn as well. And pretty much anybody who has, I would say, critical avoidance built in with a mastery, slap a critical avoidance on them and it's going to make them even better. I feel like it's such a great tool to have. And you know what, I guess maybe one of the biggest reasons I want to do this video is just so I can show off to the world my collection of my critical avoidance arrows. So let's go into this, guys, because I have some crazy ones. I don't even know how I got them, but I'll share with you my uses I would use them with. So let's go over my CA arrows. So let's see here. I'm on my phone still because my internet is not working on my PC. So here we go. I got 4 of them. And as you can see here, they all have speed, but let's see which ones are which. So this is one I have on Thrawn. A 20 speed with some extra health percent. It's a fantastic mod. I would say really any critical avoidance that's 15 plus is one worth 6 ink for sure. Unless it has high defense or really high health or something along the lines. I would say go for like a high defense one if you don't get any speed drops. But you really ideally want to go for some that are really fast. And this is one of them, right? So I got a 20 on Thrawn. I got another 20 on my Hux. Great. I got nothing to say about any of my CA arrows. I just got really lucky, I guess. A 20, and then going on to BB-8, a 22. It's a great one. I love BB-8. He actually does get some critical avoidance with his mastery as well, so it makes him even harder to kill. And on top, the icing on the cake, I guess you could say here, the big boy is the 28 speed critical avoidance arrow for my Scion. I love this mod. It is by far the best mod I have in my inventory, and it's on Scion, so it's not always going to land and keep it on Scion. It's going to probably shuffle around to somebody else. So, for the instance, though, for the time being, rather, he's going to be on Scion because I still use the Treya Scion counter to the bugs, and with that, you really want to have him be pretty fast and have that critical avoidance also added on. And I guess Treya Scion, the trade leadership does give out critical avoidances, which is pretty awesome as well. So that's kind of him. I love that mod, and I love critical avoidance, and I would say for you guys out there to actively farm it, try to be looking for them as much as possible, because I think right now there's a huge demand for them, but just thinking about them in the future with things, I think it's going to be even bigger. I really do believe, because if we get any more relic levels, that same relic mastery with those characters that have critical avoidance will get bumped up even more. Same with the critical chance as well. So you want to kind of even that out, and even, you know, sometimes, you know, push over and make it so crits never happen at all. You know, critical hit immunity is a pretty nice buff, but, you know, critical avoidance with mods is pretty huge as well. So I just love that a lot, and that's kind of my whole point here at the video. I think those are mods that I would actively farm. I do have actually one more to show you, which is one I would say you can still work on if you want to. You can 6E it as well. It's not like a must-have though. And this one is on Zalbar. So this one has pretty good protection, pretty good defense. I don't know really why I would have gone for this though. I really would have ideally liked it above a 10% defense percent if I could have, but it's not. But it's still pretty good. That's a good mod still. I still like that on my slower tanks. Zalbar's a great use for him, and he gets even more critical avoidance on his unique as well. So lots and lots of great uses here with critical avoidance in the game. Tanks are a must for them if you have a durable tank with high relics. And there's even some others that they don't even need to be tanks, and you can still use them. Like just anybody else, like supports even. Probably not attackers, probably supports or tanks that have them and then need them. There's a lot of people who like them, and I would highly recommend for you guys to go after them if you want to increase your mod game and just kind of go about that way. So the last thing I want to share with you guys is this Luke little bug or animation thing where his animations just straight up don't work. I think it's kind of funny, right? He just kind of sits there, he's just freezed. He's just like not moving at all. And that's Luke. That's a little funny thing I thought I'd share with you guys very lastly. So hopefully, they said they're going to fix anyways, but for the time being, I think it's kind of silly and fun. But yeah, guys, that'll do it for today. I will keep you guys posted if I do happen to go for this new Chewbacca and 3PO, because I think it's a fantastic character. Today's video I want to go all about critical avoidance though, because I think it's so important right now in the game, and I would highly push for you guys to get some mods that are pretty fast rather on the CA arrows, or pretty just durable ones like the defense or even the protection percent. Percent is always a huge thing. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new here. We got a bunch of videos coming out here, pretty much almost always our daily videos, and besides that we got a Discord and a Patreon and a channel memberships all down below, linked in the description. Thanks for hanging out guys today, and until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out and have a good one.